Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. Welcome, Pastor Mrs. I can see the kids. Yeah, welcome, everybody. It's good to have you. Mr. Sam is already here in our midst. He will be taking us shortly. Okay, without wasting much time, I'm just going to let Mr. Sam have the floor. So we have the privilege of having Mr. Sam Shoyobo in our midst. He is a careers advisor. He works with Skills Development Scotland. This is his career. This is what he does. He's going to be taking us. Please, I just want everyone to, enjoy this session. You're welcome, Mr. Sam.
Thank you so much. My name is Sam Shoyombo, and I'm a careers advisor. This is my calling. This is my ministry. I'm just privileged that I'm being paid, and now I've moved into a Catholic school. So I'm working in a place where I can even talk about God as well. So it makes it even more interesting for me. But I am very passionate about supporting young people with children. I've always worked within a setting of education or developing young people. So I started as a librarian in public library in London. Then I moved to the system side of library. And this is where I got it wrong because that was where the money was. And I moved to that. And I had a very sad 15, 20 years of being a systems librarian. I worked in the University of Edinburgh for about 7 years. And I didn't enjoy that. So I went to Nigeria I think Nigeria would be the solution, but it wasn't. So when I came back to the United Kingdom for a second time, I knew what a bad career is in the United Kingdom. It was very clear to me. Nobody had to explain what it is to have a bad career in the UK. So I was particular about finding the right career where my job would be my calling. So I took about 2-3 years to get that right. And to the glory of God, I wake up every morning wanting to go to work. And I worked in Aberdeen before I came back to Edinburgh. Now work in Midlothian. When I was in Aberdeen, within 6 months, for the first time in my career, my manager said to me, "Sam, you are a blessing to Aberdeen." And that same manager, 4.5 years after I was leaving Aberdeen, end of January this year, and she said to me, she needs therapy to overcome my leaving Aberdeen. So for me, that is an accomplishment of my career. It is an accomplishment. And where I am now in Midlothian, my team leader said, "Sam, you should have applied for team leader." I said, "No, this is what I'm called to do. I don't need all those ones. I'm called to work with young children." And in the Catholic school where I work, they now call me Mr. Motivator because the kids are always wanting to engage with me. So I'm just giving you a background to myself that this is something I do with passion. And that was why this year, when I was celebrating the 3rd anniversary of my 50th birthday. So when I was celebrating it, I decided to launch my own website, and I've called it samshoyombo.com. And everybody say it's about time, samshoyombo.com. So most of the resources you would get, I've packaged everything that you would need. I was saying to Brother Hero earlier on that I didn't want to say this website is for Nigeria. So my name makes the statements. So it's actually for Blacks to know about career in the United Kingdom with a lot of focus on Scotland as well. So what would you expect from me today? I want to assure you that I am going to finish. We have been given about 75 minutes, and I'll make sure that I don't exceed that 75 minutes. But what I've said is that because it's information packed, at the end of the session, I will give you a chance to ask me questions. So that will be outside of the 75 minutes. So if you need to go, you can leave and you can listen to the recording afterwards. But I will entertain as many questions as possible. So please keep putting all your questions down and I will answer all the questions at the end. So I'm going to be taking you through an overview of the role of a careers advisor in school. And then the twin I call those between the ages of 8 and 12 teen. So those that are 6, 7 could also get themselves involved in the things that twin will be doing. It's ageless. So it's something that the twin and the family could do together. So they will be looking at writing diary of success and animal me. And I will give the parents about 3 minutes to go and settle the twin to start doing those activities. Then I would then talk with the teen. I want parents to be there when I'm talking to the teen if you have anything that is present, so they are not escaping, so they can give us their audience, and there is few talk that will take another 10-15 minutes. And they have a worksheet where they can go and do some of the tasks that I will ask them to do. But they are not getting away from the house yet, because they're going to come back, and then we're all going to do another activity together. Then I would have the parents for a call of about 20 minutes, and we'll be looking at parents learning to treasure. We'll be looking at the generation alpha. We'll be looking at communication techniques, news review of some items, and then I'll be showing you some useful resources that you can use to support yourself. Once we finish this, then I'll ask you to get both the twin and the teens back into the same place with you. And then we'll be getting into a quiz. We'll be looking at jobs of present, jobs of future, and we'll be looking at skills that we need in the changing world that we're in now. And finally, I will come to an end by showing you how I can help as well. So I want to make it clear that any resources that I'm showing to you on my website, everything is free. There is no intention to collect money from my website. I do get paid by my organization, and I'm very happy with the money I earn from them. So I don't need any payment. It's just a free website for you to help yourself and to develop your children. Now, many of you would have heard about Careers Advisor. Coming from Nigerian background, I never saw a careers advisor in my life. And when I came to the United Kingdom, I didn't have the culture of even looking for one. And even when I went back to live in Nigeria and I returned to the United Kingdom and I made the effort to see one, it wasn't a nice experience for me. So I quickly learned not to trust careers advisor. However, I want to correct that notion for all of us in Scotland, especially those of us that have migrated into this part of the world. A careers advisor should be a friend of the family that you should go to for a lot of things that you probably would not have known. So they engage with children as early as the early years when they're in primary. By the time they're getting to P5, P7, we start doing a lot of work with them in groups and with their teacher. And then during their P7 to S1 transition to secondary school, we meet with them and we do a group activity with them. When they're in secondary school, between their S2 and S3, they make significant subject choices during that time, and they should see a careers advisor. Each child is meant to see a careers advisor to help them with their subject choices. As they're going through their senior phase, S4 to S6, most of the kids would be called by careers advisor, and they could request. So if your child is not invited by careers advisor, you should be asking them to go to the careers advisor and ask for an appointment. And I say they can tell the careers advisor that I'm going to be needing your help because my parents are not from here and they don't really understand the education system. So that way, the careers advisor will prioritize your kids and add them to the list of people that they should prioritize to see. That is a tip that I'm giving to you. Please note that. And then things like work placement, careers advisor will support we work with DYW, Developing Youth Workforce in Scotland. That's another organization. We work with them to arrange work placement for the young people. And when they leave school, there are loads of support that is available for a young person when they are leaving school, whether they are leaving at 16 or they are leaving at 18. If they are going into the main routes of apprenticeship, college, or university, that's fine. But for those that are having challenges, we do support them and help them at different levels to support them to get to where they are. I want to say Scottish education is one of the best education in the world because it is very individualistic. When they are in secondary school, no child has the same timetable as the other child. Their education is defined for them, their curriculum for excellence. So, what does a careers advisor do with a young person in school? And this is more in secondary school. But in primary school, they don't really have a careers advisor. They have people that go in to see them. So in secondary school, we support this as the young person. It's all about the young person developing their career. So that's why I have a big U there. So it's about you, the young person, making use of my world of work. That's my wow. The young people will have recognized that in the room. You can check with them if they know that. A careers advisor will help you to explore your options. And it is right for them to change over time. And it is right for you not to know. It is sometimes I always say not to know is better because then you are motivated to explore the best option for you. And we help you to develop your career management skills, which is a skill that you would need to get into a career that you will enjoy in the future. We don't want you to be enduring your career. We want you to be enjoying it. And we help you to plan the future that you want for yourself. Apart from career services, Skills Development Scotland will also support people with additional needs. If you're thinking of entrepreneurship, having your own business, we support. When is exam result time, maybe things hasn't gone according to plan, and that could be things might have gone very well or things must have gone the other way. They're there to support you. We have a national helpline that you can call during that time. Funding of any form, for whatever form that you need. For example, a lot of people are losing their job. There are lots of training fund that is available in Scotland. And when people leave school or you just need to do small courses, there are individual training accounts, training allowance that is available as well. So you can get that through going to Skills Development Scotland. Apprenticeship family, we have the foundation, we have the modern, and we have the graduate. I'll talk about them as part of the things that we do. And like I said, the school leavers, if your child wants seasonal job like Christmas or summer jobs, we do help them. Subject choices, I did talk about that, and I have a video that is in the link that I will show you later that you can listen to, and these are subject choices to guide them. My World of Work is a very useful resource for both parents and the child. And I encourage young people to get into volunteering as early as they can get into it. So for me, when I come across a young person, these big 5 questions will be going through my head in the best way that I can help them. I want to help them to know how they like to learn. That is very important. Some of them like doing things, some of them like listening, some of them like writing, some of them like the autonomy of creating their own work. So I get them to understand that. Where would the subject that they enjoy take them to? I want to create that awareness for them. What subject do they enjoy? That's an indication of things that they can do, and I want them to start knowing that right early. And what subject are they good at? People can enjoy a subject. For example, a lot of young people enjoy PE, but they are not good at the theoretical part of the PE. So what subject are they good at? That is showing by the grades that they are getting. And what do other people think about them? For example, yourself, what talent are they displaying that you think that could be an indication of what the young person will do and thrive in? So, for you to support your young person, parents and carers listening to me, there are tools that are available for you to help your young person to discover what they're good at and help them explore their interests. These are the 4 tools, and they're all available on my world of work. The first one is about me, which help them to discover their interests. And then it will give them 3 words. I always say to them, put those 3 words and use that to describe yourself. So if somebody asks you, tell me about yourself, just use those 3 words. So you can tell your young people to do that and start using that to describe themselves. And that is readily available to any young person, regardless of whether they're in primary or in secondary school. Then you have the strengths. This is the tool that helps them to discover the strength that they are already using regularly and the one that they are not using so often. So you will break it down to them and let them know. So the one that they can develop. And the way my world of work is that once they've done all this quiz and they are registered, it starts personalizing information based on their strengths for them. And then the skills explorer, this is really new and it's so good. Actually, an adult could use it to understand skills. So if there is any adult under my voice today that you are struggling with how to describe jobs in your CV, the skills tools could help you to know how to better describe yourself. So that is the skills tools, and that is there to show them how they can develop and learn. The last one for the young ones is subject choice tools. So there is a tool whereby they can put up to 6 subjects in it, and that will tell them where those subjects could lead them to. So they start having an idea of where their subjects will take them to. When a young person has a good understanding of their strengths, their skills, and they know more about themselves, then we will start exploring where these choices could take them. And the popular one is either they go college, university, they go into job, some goes into job, or they go straight into apprenticeship. And there is also foundation apprenticeship that is available to them when they are in school. I will talk about that a bit later. So these are all the options that are normally available. There are other options that you could get help. So if your child did not get into any of this, if they are working actively with a careers advisor while they're in school, especially from S4 onwards, the careers advisor should have spotted and be guiding them. And I want to give a note that get to understand what your careers advisor is saying. Don't get defensive. You may want your child to do physics, chemistry, biology, but the child might be saying things that is an indication that they would have challenges in doing that. And when they pick subject that they are really going to struggle with, it will have an adverse effect on the subject that they are really good at, because they are spending more time on the one they are really struggling with at the expense of the time they can spend on the one they enjoy. So these are all the things that go into supporting them in making their choices. Now, these jobs of the future, we would have a quiz on this. So the young people, the twin and the teenagers, we're going to have a quiz on this so that you can know more about the jobs of the future. Now, these 5 sectors are sectors that are growing sector. So if you're working in any of this sector, you are more likely to get into job in the future. That is the digital technology, the energy and the environment. We all know about that. The construction industry, Scotland is still going through a lot of construction and there are lots of development going on around. The healthcare, childcare, and social care, that is a big area. When a child comes to me and they say they want to work in this area, I want to be a childcare person, fine. They can grow into becoming a pediatrician if they want to in the future. So let's understand that interest about them. And also life sciences, these are sciences that are relating to life. This is a big thing in Scotland as well. So those are all the jobs of the future that I want you to be aware of. So in summary, as a careers advisor, I help a young child, a young person to understand themselves so that they can develop self-awareness, self-worth, and respect for others. I create an awareness of their strengths, help them to reflect on their strengths and skills that will help them make informed choices when they are planning their next step. I also expose them to their horizons so that they can learn about where to find help and resources that will inform their choices. And I support them in building the right networks that will help them meet the challenges and manage changes and build relationship in the future. So between me and they, it's just about preparing them for the world of work. So it's just for them to become aware that everything they're doing now is all geared towards getting them into the world of work, the field where they will feel comfortable with. So career, everything that I've explained is all about helping a young person to develop their career management skills. And there are the 4 elements. I've tried to talk about them right from the beginning. It is about self. Who are they? Who am I? It's about your strengths. What am I good at? It's about what is available in the horizon. What is out there for me? And the network, who can help me? So you are never alone. You've got a careers advisor that will support you in developing your career management skills. And your network includes your parents that are here today, and include your teachers, your guidance, your subject teacher, your guidance teacher, and include people that are doing what you want to do as well, that your parents or the school can introduce you to. So I'm going to advise how to meet a careers advisor. I did say at the beginning, make sure that you encourage your child to see a careers advisor if they have not been invited. So keep checking with your child. Have you seen a careers advisor? If they haven't seen them, tell them that they should go to the careers advisor, introduce themselves, and tell them that their parents are not from here. They didn't do their education here, so they don't understand Scottish education system, and they won't be able to support me in getting to career. That is not undermining your parents. That is just making you a priority as well for the careers advisor, so that they can add you to a list of people that they will prioritize in seeing. Because sometimes your children may not fall in the radar of those that we need to prioritize. And we will only be basing it on the child coming to us sometimes. So that's this way to get around that. So when they're seeing a careers advisor, make sure they are focused. It is a time that they should be focused and be able to make decisions. They should be curious. They shouldn't hold back anything, because the more you say, the more it helps the careers advisor to know the right thing. So ask all the questions you need to be answered. And then be informed. Use all the tools. There is no point in you going to see a careers advisor and they are telling you, okay, I want you to go and do my world of work about me quiz. So when you've done that, come back next week. You have already used one of your allocated time. So make sure you've done that. Oh, actually, I've done that and I've done all of this, and then they can move to the next stage with you. So use all the tools, information, and networks that you have. And be confident. Feel ready to make good decisions and feel excited about your future. When you get it right, the future is always exciting. So everything that I've said in this part of this session is summarized into an action plan. Register on my world of work. Complete About Me quiz. Try the strength tools. Try the skills tools, and use the subject choice tool. All of these tools can be used by an adult and can be used by a child. So it's not, but they are designed, the language are more child friendly. So you can use all of those things on my world of work.